guys, thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Chinni and I am going to be with you on this 6-week henna course. So just a little bit about how it's going to work. Each 2 weeks are going to be a different difficulty level, with a first week being how to do henna, as in the henna tattoo, and the second week being how to incorporate the designs we learned into a fun painting or art project. But for today, we're going to be starting with a beginner level henna design. So what you're going to need for today's lesson is going to be a pair of scissors, a henna cone. Let me see if you guys can see the logo on mine. It really doesn't matter which one you get. You can order them off of Amazon or get them at your local Indian store. And a paper towel. Doesn't have to be fancy, just something that you can clean your henna cone with. Go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a pen. Get somewhere comfortable and we'll get started. Alright, so before we can begin, we need to go over some henna basics. So you have your scissors and you have your cone. If your cone doesn't have a little pin in it like mine that you can just take out, go ahead and snip the tip of it off so that you can get some henna coming out of your cone. You don't want to make it too thick because that makes it hard to make a design with. So go thin, maybe squeeze it onto your paper towel a couple of times and see if you like the thickness. Once you have that done, we're going to go over how to hold the cone. So the way that I like to hold my cone is I kind of rest it on either my middle finger or my ring finger here. And I like to put 2 fingers on top and put my thumb right here, so on the folded part. And what you're going to do is you're going to use your fingers to kind of control the cone so it can move around, and then you use your thumb to push to get the henna to come out of the cone. I will warn you, it takes some practice, so you can try holding it like that and maybe squeeze it on your paper towel a couple of times and see if you have some control. If not, I also know people who like to hold it down here and they bend the cone in half to get that pressure for the henna to come out. Another option. I just don't like to hold it that way. So play around with it, pause the video, figure out what you like, and when you're ready to move on to the next step, go ahead and grab that piece of paper and a pen and get somewhere comfortable, and we're going to learn a couple of henna designs. Alright guys, so we're going to start with a Paisley design. You start at the bottom and sort of draw an S shape with a curly at the end. And then you go back to the bottom and you want to join the bottom up top where it curls. After you feel comfortable with the Paisley, we're going to go on to a flower. So just draw a regular flower like you would with rounded petals. Make it kind of small because after you go around, we're going to add a second layer of petals, sort of in a heart shape, but you're just not drawing the point at the end of the heart. Again, this does not have to be perfect. Nothing has to be symmetrical. That's the fun of henna. Let's move on to a leaf design. So you move up, and then we're going to add some details to the leaf just for fun. You add 2 lines, and then you do diagonal lines to fill it in. So when you do henna, a lot of times you have some empty spaces you need to fill in. So we're gonna learn a filler that I really like to use. It's just a curled design that goes upwards. Really fun, really easy. We're gonna try it again, but backwards, because you never know which side you want to fill in, left or right. And again, feel free to pause the video and practice these designs as many times as you need. But once you feel comfortable, I want you to go and start tracing your hand. The best way to practice using a henna cone is to draw your design out on paper and then use your cone to trace over the design you drew. It helps you learn how to control the cone better and how to get the clean lines that you want. So for this design, we're going to start with a flower on the side of the hand. You want to draw about half the flower, go around, add your second layer of petals. We're only going to be using the designs we practiced up top. Once you have your flower done, go ahead and add a Paisley coming out of it. We're trying to build up towards the pointer finger. So we're going to add a couple of leaves going straight up onto your pointer finger. And now we're going to try to fill in the rest of the hand. So I just like adding designs on the tops of the fingers to make your hand kind of seem like one cohesive design. Super easy. Draw 2 lines, add some semicircles and 2 leaves. It really helps make your fingers sort of integrate into the design and match the bigger design while also being really fun and simple. After you finish the fingers, feel free to pause the video because that is the beginner level. If you're feeling confident or you just want to try it out, we're going to keep moving ahead and adding in some more detail to our henna design. So I'm going to go back. I love adding those semicircles around my paisley. It just really fills out the design and kind of helps the paisley blend in better to the rest of the art. And then just like up top, we're going to fill in our leaves and add some curly cues as fillers. And again, feel free to add your own spin on this design. It does not have to look just like mine. But once you're done, here is my finished product. And I want you guys to pause the video here, take your henna cone, and go over the design that you drew a couple of times. Draw it again, review it again, trace it again. And once you feel comfortable using your cone, grab a person that's willing to let you do their henna or your own hand and take a seat because we're going to apply henna to skin now. I'm going to be doing henna on my friend right now so you can follow along. We're going to be doing the same design that I did on paper with you guys just before. I do build it a different way. So before we built sort of the skeleton of the design and then added the details. In this one, I kind of add in the details as we go. So again, keep that picture right next to you. Add in the details you feel comfortable adding, and if you just want to leave it as that skeleton design, feel free to do that. But we do start with our little half flower, and then we're going to go on to add the paisley. And again, I just want to remind you guys that it does not have to look exactly like mine. Feel free to add your own twist if sometimes you have extra space or not enough space. That's okay. Add in a curly design. Maybe just color it in with the henna. It will look good no matter what you do. But I am going to let you guys follow along this video at your own pace. So go ahead and pause and play whenever you need. And I will warn you that we take this henna design to a harder level. So whenever you feel like you've kind of reached what you feel comfortable doing, feel free to stop. But if you are up for a challenge, go ahead and follow the video and see if you can get those details in. If not, that is totally fine. And again, I had so much fun doing this with you guys. I'm going to let you get through this video and then I will be back at the end to let you know what we will be doing next week. Alright, so I hope it's been going well for you guys, but while you're doing this, I wanted to tell you a little story. At the beginning of May, I found a baby bird and I saved it, and it actually survived. So if you see little bird feathers, that's actually my bird Tweety. He lives in the backyard and he really likes hanging out with us every now and then, so he wanted to make a guest appearance onto this video. I just wanted to hop on here and let you guys know about Tweety's story so that you could meet him. But again, you guys are doing great. Keep on going. If your henna tip is kind of getting clogged up, that's what your paper towel is for. Feel free to take the towel, squeeze the tip and pull, and it will get rid of any dry henna that might be clogging it up. Helps you draw much smoother lines. And again, I am going further into detail here than beginner level, just in case anyone was up for a challenge. So feel free to stop and do what you're comfortable with. But I hope you guys are having fun. Alright, so we're just sort of finishing up the design now, adding in some fillers. I love adding in dots to fill with the curlies. I just wanted to come on here and thank you guys again so much for joining me this week. I hope you had fun, and please come back next week because we will be taking these designs that we made with the henna and actually drawing a fun little painting out of them. So for next week, get yourself a piece of paper or a canvas, some paints, a paintbrush, and a sponge. I will be giving you guys a list of supplies. And join me next week because we're going to make a fun little henna design. So thank you again. I hope you guys had fun. I can't wait to see your finished products.